What's up? Mad Dog Daily. Regarding the previous video, not the previous blog post, but the previous video, talking about how my medication change, dosage-wise, decreasing the Abilify has made me feel better, which is still true, but I still, this is going to take some time. People need to bear with me. I had a lot of posts within the last couple weeks, all about emotional baggage, being able to just get rid of all of the numbness that's affected me for years and years and years in depression. It's still, like, after all these months, once I started this blog and I was talking about all that, it's still creeping up, like, out of nowhere. And, the scary part is, it's like, you have no idea that, it isn't even about anything. You have no idea what is causing it. Like, if you have sort of a bad, like, if you're in a bad mood, whether you feel just really angry and then you're getting it out, like putting it on social media, and then you put it on Twitter, and then 2 minutes later, okay, so you got the energy out, the bad energy. You didn't need to take it out on like an actual object. You just took it out on, being an internet gangster and whatnot. But after that comes the sadness, and then it's not just like sadness. I mean, this kind of thing is like you feel like your life is over, and I'm not exaggerating when I say that. You really do feel like, all you want to do is cry for hours and hours and hours and hours. That's the state I'm in when this stuff happens. I'm not gonna lie. It's not fun, to put it mildly. In fact, I don't even like it when people say it's not fun. It sounds invalidating. So, in case people are wondering, there are a couple things. This is the second part of the video I want to talk about. There are a couple things that I said in that, things that I referenced in that video, where I was talking about the triggering phrases and sort of joking around, half joking around in it. And the two things I want to address are ones that, there was one where I was talking about, okay, hold up, just process this for a second. There was one where I was talking about, see, this is what happens. I'm gonna go off for a second. This is what happens. This is another effect of depression, and I can say this, I'm credible because I'm going through it. And that's short-term memory loss. Like, I got that. I have an idea, and then 2 seconds later, I don't get it. I just don't remember it. This shit is real. That's one of the, and the thing is that, like, I've talked to mental health advocates, and without even needing to bring it up, and they're going through the exact same thing. So, memory loss, short-term memory loss is a common trait with depression. My psychiatrist, has said this too. So, you can't get any more legit than that. Anyway, back to what I was going to say. There are a couple of phrases that I said in the triggering phrases video. Number one, what I was talking about, the two things I was mentioning were related to something that happened almost 2 weeks ago, like the Monday before this past Monday. And it's Friday when I'm making this video, by the way, when I'm uploading it. I'm just trying to remember what those two phrases were, so bear with me. The two phrases, they were related. Let me just say this while I'm thinking about it. Let me just explain what they're about. The two phrases or 3, 4, I don't know how many were in the middle of that video, but they had to do with, oh, okay, you need to stop taking shit out your ass, or talking out your ass. That was one of them. Another thing is your personal experience is invalid. Those are 2 that I just thought of. Those are 2. You'll go back to that video, you'll see them. Anyway, what those are referencing is a suicide prevention tweet that I had a long time ago, longer than just 2 weeks ago. But I retweeted it a couple times because I thought it was necessary for people to see it. And believe me, people saw it. People are still seeing it and liking it. But the problem is, it got one person, and you know what? No diss to her, she's a great person. I'm not mad at her at all. What the tweet was talking about was about how me personally, I don't agree with you needing to sort of treat people who either threaten suicide. I'm not even going to use the word threaten. Forget that I said threaten. People that think they want to end their life, or people that attempt to, that they should be treated like criminals, locked up in a cop car, go to a complete mental asylum, or go to a hospital that looks like a normal hospital from the outside. Once you go in, it becomes a mental institution, like McLean Hospital in Belmont, which is near here in Watertown, Massachusetts. Yeah, I said it. Anyway, sorry to creep you out for that. So, yeah, that's just what I wanted to say there in that tweet. And then a couple people had, tried to debate with me, and that was cool. I understand that you understand that sometimes that reacting that way and put him in a hospital, or sometimes cops aren't necessary if they've gotten past that point where they can no longer help themselves, and just talking about it won't do enough. And the only point I was trying to make is that it doesn't even need to get to that point. If people are there from the start, then it should be fine. I mean, it's not like this stuff just happens and you can't talk them out of it. I mean, if they get good help, this shit wouldn't happen. But a lot of people just take it for granted until it's too late. And that's not the victim's fault. So don't try and blame it on them for stuff that other people that they were around them didn't do or should have been doing before. So that was the only point I was trying to make. Obviously, cops would be necessary after the fact. So, long story short, it got a couple people in the mental health community, specifically one, like the other one I don't really know, but it got 2 people, they blocked me. These were people in the conversation, the argument that didn't need to happen, in the replies, they blocked me. And you know what? One of them actually had said all these triggering phrases. I'll bet you half of them were in that video that I made. And what did I do? I'm not going to say the guy's name, by the way. But what did I do? I DM'd some guy who's a really good guy. In fact, next video I want to next blog post, I want to send you a link to his album because I got it on iTunes and he's really struggling. Anyway, I DM'd him, told him what was up. He said he talked to the person because he knows he was surprised too. Why would this guy block me and lash out at me like this over just a disagreement? And what happened? Well, I mean, he said he was going to, once he talked to this guy, he said, okay, I already know what you're going to say, and I will unblock him. I understand that, I was annoyed, all this stuff. I was in a grumpy mood, I was in a cranky mood, I shouldn't have done it. Well, what you said was very triggering, number one. Number two, I blocked you before you even unblocked me, and I don't plan to do it. I don't plan to unblock. I mean, I blocked you before you unblocked me. I'm not going to unblock you as well. I mean, I would say let bygones be bygones, but now I know what you really think of me, so it's not going to happen. Again, this is me. I'm not saying everybody should go with this kind of way of thinking, or, you know, go about this is the solution. But if this is how I feel, that's really all that matters. Okay, not one size doesn't fit all, and I'm just going by what I feel is right. Me, I'm not trying to tell people this is what you do. Let's just get that straight. Anyway, that's my rant for today. So I wanted to just give that to you in this video. Hopefully there'll be more positive shit coming later. Anyway, below, as usual in the description, both links, one for my blog, the other one for my Mixcloud. Still going strong. Peace out.